Song. This is where children belong. Welcome this part of our worshiping throng. Water God's word, bread, and cup, prayer and song. This is where children belong. Come here, guys. You can sit up here. You can sit with me. Okay. I'm going to talk to the grown-ups actually first, because you know what's weird? Miss Slimko and I, we were just talking about technology and how you guys are a generation of technology. Is that correct? I'm guessing these kids have had phones, tablets, computers in their hands since pretty young. Is that correct? So you're in second grade. Cam, you're in first grade? Are you in first? I think you're in first.
I am.
Yeah, you're in first. I'm going to ask you, second grader, do you have any kids in your class that might have a phone? Yeah. They're second graders with phones. Miss Slimko, can you confirm that there are children in elementary with phones? So you guys are a generation of technology, so you know exactly how to use a phone or a tablet. Like if I came to you and I had this phone and I was saying, why is it not working? Oh, I was using the wrong side. Of course. You guys would know that. In fact, I'm guessing you don't have to be a second grader to know that. In fact, little kids would know. If I'm trying to touch this side, I had to turn it around because it's backwards. It doesn't work when it's turned around, right? It doesn't. Well, I don't think it works real well if it's turned around.
Wow.
Oh, if I take that off, yeah. But what we know is that technology does not work when it's backwards, right? Yep, thank you. So that kind of reminds me of our story today. So our scripture story is a story about a man named Peter, who's one of Jesus' disciples. And Jesus is talking to all his disciples, including Peter, and he's telling them, things are coming that are not so great. Things are going to be happening soon, and I don't think anyone really wanted to hear it. They weren't good things. And so Peter starts getting kind of nervous and upset, and he gets turned around. In fact, he starts telling Jesus, his teacher, how to do things. He starts talking to the teacher like he knows what he's talking about, and he starts trying to direct Jesus. And Jesus is like, whoa. You're turned around. You're thinking backwards. I'm the teacher, you're the student. We have to kind of get our roles fixed. And sometimes that happens to us. Grown-ups, you might know this. Sometimes when things are going kind of haywire in our life, when things are frustrating, scary, when we get new information that makes us nervous, when we hear about something that's happening in our life that could be happening, that might be happening in the future, and it makes us nervous, sometimes we get turned around. Sometimes we want to control things. Is that true? I don't know about you. I'm kind of a controller. I want to control things when they feel a little out of control. And here's what happens. Here's what we learn from Peter. When we get turned around, when we kind of get our eyes not focused on Jesus, that's when we can kind of make mistakes. And that's when our life can be a little bit out of control. And so we're reminded from this story of Peter that when things feel messy in our life, when things are scary, when we don't know what the future holds, if we can turn our focus back to Jesus, he can remind us of what it is like to live a life, God's life of love and joy and peace and justice and inclusion. We can remember when we turn and face Jesus again, when we get ourselves turned back around, we can remember what that peace feels like and what that joy feels like. And Peter reminded us of that. When he got turned around, Jesus turned him back around, and things felt peaceful and right again. So we're going to go upstairs. We're going to talk a little bit about that story about Peter while they talk about it down here. You guys ready? Let's go.